Good evening, folks. It's me from inside Egypt. It's been a while, but I'm back with another exciting episode of Crime Scene. Do you know who did it? So get ready for yet another intriguing mystery. This time we find ourselves aboard the luxurious train that travels from Cairo to Aswan, passing by the Great Pyramids along the way. He wakes up and immediately goes to investigate what happened. He finds everyone gathered around a man lying dead on the floor with a knife sticking out of his chest. He decides to take a walk down the train to clear his head. While he's gone, Habiba approaches Leela and tells her that she knows who the murderer is, but she can't tell her because the killer is still on the loose and might hurt anyone who gets in their way. Layla insists that she wants to know the truth, and Habiba finally reveals that it was Zaki who killed Kamal. She says that she met Zaki on the train and they became friends. He says that even though the train journey was full of unexpected twists and turns, he's glad that he was able to catch the killers and bring them to justice. He says that he learned that no matter where you go or who you meet, you can never truly know someone's intentions and that sometimes appearances can be deceiving. He says that he hopes that everyone who is on that train will be able to move on from this terrible experience and that he wishes them all the best in their lives. He says that he's now ready to return home, where he hopes for a peaceful and uneventful life. He says that he thanks the audience for joining him on this journey and invites them to watch future episodes of Crime Scene. Do you know who did it? To catch more mysteries and thrilling adventures. But she soon realized that he was a wealthy man and decided to use him for his money. She says that she never meant to kill him, but when he started threatening to call the police, she panicked and hit him with a vase. The officer was able to connect the broken piece of the vase to the murder weapon, which further proved her guilt. He then arrested the man who confessed to helping the woman escape after she had killed Zaki. He said that he felt bad for her and didn't want her to go to prison, so he helped her hide in the closet. She explains that she saw him leaving Kamal's cabin right after the murder took place. Layla is shocked and asks Hiba why she didn't tell the police about this sooner. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time. She says that she wanted to wait until they reached the station in Aswan before making any accusations. His name was Kamal, one of the train staff, and apparently he had been stabbed in his cabin. He tells her that he only did it to protect his reputation and that if word got out that he was involved in a murder, his life would be ruined. The officer gets off and heads straight to Zaki's compartment. He finds out that two people had left the train earlier, a man and a woman. The officer asks the conductor if he remembers which compartment they were staying in, and he says that he does. The officer immediately rushes to the rooms where the couple had been staying. He opens the door and finds them hiding in the closet. They try to deny it, but the officer arrests them both. He takes them off the train and questions them separately. He opens the door and finds the man dead on the floor with a pillowcase over his head. He'd been strangled. The officer immediately begins questioning the other passengers again, trying to find out if anyone knows who could have done such a thing. Samir says that he saw Habiba arguing with Zaki just before the murder. Raja says that she thinks Habiba is behind it all, and Layla says that she believes Samir killed Zaki to protect his friend, Habiba. The officer is confused by all the conflicting stories and doesn't know what to believe. Layla is disgusted by his actions and walks away. The officer comes back and overhears the last part of their conversation. He tells Layla that he is already looking into Zaki's behavior and will arrest him if there is enough evidence against him. Layla is grateful for his help and goes back to her seat. The police officer quickly gets to work trying to find out who could have done such a thing. He starts by questioning each passenger, one by one, trying to find out if any of them had seen anything suspicious or had any arguments with Kamal before he died. The year is 1934, and just like every other day, the Orient Express is crowded with passengers. There's all sorts of people, including an Egyptian police officer who is traveling in disguise to catch a thief that has been stealing money from people's luggage. But unfortunately for him, he will end up solving more than one case by the end of his journey. For he will be faced with a murder most foul and must do his best to figure out who the killer is before they strike again. There are 5 suspects in this case, each with their own secrets. First off, we have Zaki, a wealthy man whose face is covered with bandages because he was recently injured in a car accident. Then there's Layla, a beautiful young woman who keeps getting strange phone calls from someone she doesn't know. Samir, a nervous writer who's working on a very important book that could make him famous. Raja, an old woman who's traveling to visit her son, and finally Habiba, a mysterious fortune teller who seems to know more than she's letting on. The story starts when our undercover cop hears a scream in the middle of the night. The first person he talks to is Zaki. He asks Zaki if he heard anything unusual during the night, and the rich man replies that he slept soundly and didn't hear a thing. The officer then turns his attention to Layla. She says that she also slept through the commotion, and when she woke up she saw Kamal's body lying on the floor. Samir, the writer, tells the officer that he didn't sleep very well because he was thinking about his book. Raja, the old woman, says that she was woken up by Kamal's scream, but she didn't know what it was at the time. Finally, the fortune teller, Habiba, says that she saw something strange going on in Kamal's cabin during the night, but when she went to check it out, she couldn't see inside because the curtains were drawn. She told the others that she would prefer not to speak about it anymore since it has a bad omen to talk about death, but promised the officer that she'd tell him everything he needs to know when he asks. With all the information he's gathered so far, the officer is no closer to finding out who killed Kamal. Now that Layla knows the truth, she confronts Zaki and demands an explanation. A few hours pass and the train pulls into the station in Aswan. He decides to go back to the train station and look through the passenger manifest to see if anyone had gotten off before it arrived in Aswan. The woman breaks down and confesses that she killed Zaki because he was going to expose her as a con artist. As the episode comes to an end, the officer is satisfied that justice has been served. Okay, that's all for tonight. Let us know in the comments who you thought did it.